ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। We are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 60, verse number 22. So in the previous class we studied how Krishna, he joked with Srimati Rukmani that she should find another husband because he is not suitable match for her, and he even named the people Shishupal, Salva, Jarasandha, Dantavakra, and he said that they are very powerful people and they are also willing to marry you. And if she asks why did he marry her, says that I did not marry you because I wanted to marry you, but I just wanted to take revenge from these people, that's why I married you. So now that purpose is achieved, so you can leave now. So after speaking this, then he stopped. So Sri Sukadeva Goswami is describing the effect, the reaction of his words on Rukmani Devi. So iti trilokesha pates tadatmanah priyasya devya shrita purvam apriyam ashrutya bhita hridi jata vepatur chinta durantam rudati jagamaha. So when she heard these words from Krishna, who is the Lord of three worlds and who is very dear to her, tadatmanah priyasya, and Devi Ashrut Purvam, and she heard this, which she has never heard anything like this before, and she also never expected anything like this. So Ashrut Purvam, and she has not heard anything like this before, that is all right, you can sometimes hear new things, but it was apriyam. It was not very palatable. If you hear something new, which is joyful, lovely, that is fine. It says apriyam ashrut purvam. And therefore this gave a big shock to her. And what Krishna was expecting, instead of that, there was just the opposite reaction. Instead of she becoming angry at him, she became fearful. So ashrutya bhita hridi jata vepatu. And she became so fearful that she was shaking. So when you are in fear, then your air gets disturbed. So then you start shaking. In anger also it happens sometimes. Sometimes you see the animals, if they are angry, they pass urine. So this is because the prana become disturbed. So she was also disturbed, therefore jata vepatu, and chintam durantam jagamaha, rudati jagamaha. She started crying and she fell into a very intense anxiety. So her anxiety was because she thought that Krishna is going to just drop her. And as she has already said, when she sent the letter to Krishna through the Brahmana, she said that please come and kidnap me because I don't want to marry anyone else. And if you do not come, I will give up my life. So that shows that how much she was attached to Sri Krishna, that she did not want anyone else in his life. And if now Krishna is going to behave like this, then she thinks that this is the end of her life. Therefore she was extremely anxious and fearful. So there is no commentary on this. Then the next he is describing further, pada sujaten nakharuna shriya bhuvam likhanti ashrubhiranjana sitaihi asinchati kumkum rushitostani tasthau adho mukhati dukkha ruddhavak. So she did not know what to do. So she stayed in her own place. Tasthau means she did not move. And her face was drooping down, adhomukhi, and ati dukkha ruddhavak. She was in intense grief, so much grief that she was not able to utter any words because it was such a big shock to her. There was no such expectation that she is going to hear such words coming from Krishna's mouth. And the tears were flowing down from her eyes and washing away the kumkum from her breast. And with her toe, she was scratching the ground. So pada sujaten nakharuna shriya bhuvam likhanti ashrubhiranjana sitai. So with her toe, which has the reddish nail, beautiful, with that she was just scratching which shows that she was in anxiety and did not know what to do. So the similar situation we read about the gopis also. When Krishna played the flute and gopis went to see him, then he started doing the same thing to them. Swagatam vo mahabhaga, priya kim karvani va. So they also stood there crying and scratching the ground. So this is how you have to understand that these are standard things of kavya. Means how to express. There are ways to express feelings of anger, feeling of distress. So these are standard techniques. They are utilized. It's like if somebody is a painter and he has to paint angry mood or sad mood, then certain colors will be used for that, right? Certain background, more dark. So here also in the kavya also there are standard things which you will see everywhere in the Sanskrit poetry. So her feet, it says pada sujatena. Sujata means very tender. So her toes were very tender, and with that she was scratching the ground. And the ground, of course, was not soft, unlike in case of the gopis, they were in forest. So this was soft. She was having marble floor, right? She was not standing in some garden. So she is scratching that, and she is crying very pitiably and did not know what to say. So chinta lakshanam evaha padaiti. So Sri Vishnu Chakravarti says that in the previous sloka it was said that she was full of anxiety, chinta durantam, and that anxiety was also such that it did not seem to end. Anta means end, duranta means no end to it. Because the very object of her life is rejecting her. So how can she find solace in anything else? So that anxiety is being depicted here in this verse by these symptoms of tears, grief, lowering of the head, scratching the ground, and so on. So Nakhaira Aruna Shri Kantir Yasya. So she was scratching the ground with the nails of her foot, not both but only one. And Aruna Shri Kantir Yasya, and then the nail was reddish, not the nail itself but below the nail. So it was reflecting the reddish color. Means it looked beautiful. And tena sujatena sukomalena. And the nail was very soft. So that's why the word used there for is sujata. So sujata literally means newly born. So like something is newly born, they are soft. So in that sense it is used. Tasyaha sudukha bhashok vinishta buddhe hastachrad valayato vyajanam papata dehascha viklavadhiya sahaseva muhan muhiyan rambhe vayu vihita pravikirya keshan. So now furthermore description of her grief in this verse, that this grief sudukha bhaya shoka vinashta buddhe, her intelligence was completely lost. When you are in grief, you are in fear, you are in suffering state, you cannot think clearly. Intelligence does not work. So intelligence becomes influenced by the negative emotions, then it cannot think clearly, or sometimes cannot even think. Therefore sometimes people say that my mind went blank, could not think anything. So that is what happened to her. Vinashta buddhe means that her intelligence was completely lost because of the grief, fear and suffering. And hastat shralat valayato vyajanam papat. And the grief was so intense that immediately she became thin. These days you have some programs for instant weight loss, right? People do that you can lose 20 pounds in 10 days. So this was most intense. So this is also poetic embellishment that in grief the Nayika loses weight, becomes emaciated. So out of grief she immediately became emaciated and she lost weight so much that the bangles fell off the hand. So that's what it means. Hastat shalatha valayata. That from her hands the bangles they slipped away. And Vyajanam papata, she was having the fan, this chamara for Sri Krishna, it fell off from the hand. And dehascha viklav dhiya sahasaiva muhiyan rambhaya vayu vihata pravikirya keshan. And because she has lost awareness, then she got so bewildered that immediately she fell on the ground, unconscious. Just like when there is a heavy storm and the banana plant is uprooted. So banana plant does not have a very deep root. There is a heavy wind, it can be uprooted very easily. So Rambhaya Vayu Vihata Pravikirya Keshan, and her hair flew around, became disabled. So that's her state. Sudukha Priya Shravanat Sudukham Apriya Shravanat. So she was in great pain. Why? Because she heard these very painful words from Krishna. And Bhaya, why there was fear? Satyaga Shankaya. So she expected that Krishna is going to abandon her. So therefore there was a fear. Shokaha Tabhyam Anutapa. And then she was in grief because of these two things. That such harsh words Krishna spoke, and then there is feeling coming, that doubt that he is going to leave her. So she was in great lamentation. Tair vinashta buddhir yasya, and because of that her intelligence was lost. Ataha parihaso ayamiti vicharo nodbhutiti. So because she lost her intelligence, she could not think that Krishna is just joking. So sometimes you make a joke, and if you don't show it on your face, then the other person may take it seriously. If you actually make a joke with serious face, and you are generally serious person, if you have the nature of joking all the time, even if you say something seriously, people will take it for a joke. But if you are a serious person and you joke, then people take it that this is some serious thing. Right? That if somebody generally visits a bar, and then he comes out from the bar with a bottle, then you think he must be having liquor. But imagine that he is actually having a milk bottle. Comes out of the bar, you will never think that he has a milk bottle because he goes to bar all the time. But if somebody doesn't go to bar and he comes out and he has a bottle which looks whitish, you'll think it must be milk. So because Krishna was never joking with her like that, and that also in such harsh words, so her buddhi was lost. And buddhi nashat pranashyati. That's what it says. That if your buddhi is lost, if your intelligence is lost, then you are finished. So therefore she was unable to think. She did not think why he is saying suddenly such words. They have been living for years by now. So she could not think that why is that after so many years and we have been living happily, we never had even a quarrel for over something, and suddenly he speaks like this. So this thought did not come to her mind. So that's why he says that parihaso ayam vicharo nod avbhuta. So udbhuta iti. Slathanti valayani yasmad hastaditi सहसैव विरह पीड़ा उत्थाद अति कार्ष्यात वल्यानि अपि पेतुर iti gammite. So he says that the bangles fell off from the hand, from her arm. So why is that? He says because when she heard these words, suddenly she got in the mood of separation, that as if he has already left. It's like Arjuna, when he was on the battlefield, then nothing has happened yet. Only the conch was blown, and that conch blowing was also not for war. That actually Bhishma, he blowed the conch to make Duryodhana, right? To make Duryodhana happy. Right? He did not blow that, okay, now let's fight. That will happen after the Gita was spoken. So this, nothing has actually happened yet, and Arjuna was completely Gandivam sranste hastat tvakshame paridahyate. And he says, I cannot stand Brahmti vacha me mana. So he also fell down. Visrijya sasaram chapam. Sok samvigna manasa. He sat down. Rathopastam upasana. Sat down on the back of the chariot. So same thing happened. She assumed it, as if there is a separation. Virapida utthat. And because of that, then there was emaciation, which happens to the nayikas. So this is the symptom of a nayika, that there is emaciation in separation. If emaciation is not happening in separation, this is not a nayika. This is the lakshana. You can ask.
So for somebody like just a non-nayika, like...
Non-nayika?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in modern psychology, there's the concept of emotional eating out of loneliness or separation. So then is that what...
It's not a nayika.
So if somebody is emotionally eating out of loneliness or separation, that's how...
Unqualified to be nayika.
Okay. So that's what they would do in the material world. But if they're nayika, this very same feeling would make them do the opposite.
Yeah.
Stop eating. So, but why is that?
Because this is written in the book.
Can we go a little deeper than that?
I already told you.
Why?
Because love is like that. These people don't have love.
Okay.
So they don't have any experience of love. And now they are trying to, compensate for lack of love. They eat. But these people have love. So they are not eating. They are thinking of the love. Their mind is absorbed in that. They don't have love and somebody leaves, they are not thinking about that person. So therefore, food and love have a relationship. When you are in too much in love, then less food. Then you get emaciated. It's the other way around. The non-nayikas.
Baji, we see even material Lokik Kavya, like if you take Shakuntala and all, they also are.
Yeah, because they're Naika.
Yeah, so it is. So even in material sense, it is.
The same material, spiritual, it is same thing. Therefore, Shankaracharya will say this is Vyavaharika. So therefore, because of the emaciation, her bangles came out from the hand. And then it did not stop there only. Tadanantaram dehasya papat. It's not only the bangles fell down, then she also fell down. She followed the bangles. Bangles were quicker to react. Her reaction came little later. The bangles, they felt we are not qualified anymore to be on her arms because Krishna is giving her up, so we fall down. They became more sad and they dropped dead immediately. And then Rukmani dropped after that. So you see, these are devotee bangles. They had such a heavy reaction that they said, what is the point now? So they fell down. And then she fell down. Tatra hetu viklava dhiya. So what is the reason for her to fall down? It says viklava dhiya, because her mind became so disturbed, overpowered by grief, agitated. So sahasaiva muhyan. So suddenly she went into moha. Moha here means unconscious. Buddher nasasyapi pragukter nasta chetanaya ityartha. So although Buddhinas was written before, but now it says that not only she lost buddhi, she lost also her consciousness. Because actually consciousness also comes through buddhi. Chitta, consciousness comes through chitta only. If chitta sits down, then chetana also goes away. So therefore she fell down. Tatascha muhyan iti sahasa navmi api dasha. So this becoming unconscious, this is considered as the 9th stage in separation. The 10th one is the death. So there are 10 stages of Naika in separation. So 10th one is not shown, generally speaking, because that is too inauspicious, except in case of the gopis who were stopped. There it says that they gave up their bodies. Jahur gunmaya deham. So there, of course, then commentators have to explain, because giving up body is not acceptable. All that is counted as one of the states in separation. But generally it's not seen, except in case of Dashrath. So he died in separation of Ram. So this moha, this is considered, this is the 9th one. Lalsa udvoga jagarya tanava jadi matratu. So Vagram vyadhir unmado moho mrityu dasha. So 9th dasha state. Ataha papata, and therefore she fell down, obviously. And stambhadya antama antim pralayascha satviko bhutiti bhava. Then in the Sattvika point of view, there are Sattvika bhavas. So the first one is Stambha, and the last one is Pralaya. Pralaya also means becoming unconscious. So that also became manifest. Tadrishtva Bhagavan Krishna Priyayaha Prema Bandhatam Hashya Pradhim Janantyaha Karuna Shon Anvakampata So when Krishna saw this, he was also surprised because he was not expecting this. He did not think that this will happen. So therefore he says that when Bhagavan Krishna saw this, that how intensely Sri Rukmani loves him, Priyaya Prem Bandhanam, and also understood that she is ignorant about the depth of her parihas, her joke, that she could not understand that he was only joking. And she took it very seriously. So therefore Karunaha so anukampata. So then he became very compassionate on her. So then he also shook inside akampata, anvakampata means just like she was shaking, then he also was shaken, especially in his mind, that oh, what is this? I didn't expect this. So yatha sansarik jivanam avidya bandhanam tatha tasyaha premna bandhanam. So just like in the material world people are bound by the ignorance, so in the same way she was bound by prema. So prema also binds you, ignorance also binds in the material world. There is nothing to be bound here. Everything is temporary, everything is fleeting, running away, but we hold on to that out of ignorance. So prema in the spiritual world also binds in the same way. Everything is permanent there, nothing is going to run away. But similar situation. Here we hold on to things which you can never hold on to, and there they hold on to and become worried that they will lose it when they can never lose it. So therefore it says tasyaha premna bandhanam, that her bondage was out of intense love. And just as the material attachment creates delusion in the mind, then prema also creates. So Maya creates delusion, Vimukhajan Mohini, Swajan Mohini and Swamohini. Maya bewilders non-devotees, Maya bewilders devotees, Maya bewilders Bhagavan also. Doesn't spare anyone. Maya Durateha. So she was also under the influence of Maya, but this Maya is Prema Maya and Vimukhajan is Mahamaya. Seyato hasyasya praudhitvam ajanantya iti. So then why this happened to her? Because she did not understand the deep joke. These days we have deep state, deep fake, right? There are a lot of deep things these days. So Krishna had deep joke. So just as we don't understand how the deep state is working, like that she did not understand the deep joke of Krishna. And therefore this happened. So prema parinamaha anurago hi swasrasya pratikshanam dhanyam eva utpadayati. So why it happened? Because the anurag, the state of anurag, where your sthai bhav reaches the state of anuraga, then it brings intense humility, especially in the Dakshina Nayika. So she became even more humble than before. She was already, that's why she was fanning him, although there were so many maid servants. But she herself took the fan from the hands of this maid servant and started fanning. So it says, Anurago hi swashriyasya pratikshanam dhanyam eva utpadayati. So this dhanya is very basic characteristic of bhakti. Even Sharanagati has that. The 6 parts of Sharanagati also has Karpanya in that. Right? So this is Danya, it continues. So this devotee naturally are humble, and more advanced a devotee, more humble he or she becomes. So therefore Rukmani Devi, out of her humility, she could not think that he is joking. So that's why it happened. Tatascha naham etad yogya iti ato anena tyakta evaham iti bhrant chitta. So although Krishna was saying that he is not qualified to be her husband, and he gave so many reasonings for that, right? But she started thinking other way around, that actually I am not qualified to be her wife, and he is being humble and speaking like this, and therefore he has already rejected me. So that's how she thought, and that's why she became Bhranta Chitta. Her intelligence was bewildered. Paryankad avruhi ashu tamuthapya chaturbhujaha keshan samuhya tadvaktram pramrajat padm panina. So this behavior or this reaction of Rukmani Devi, it shook the mind of Sri Krishna. Therefore, when he saw that she fell off, he immediately jumped from the bed, because he was sitting on the bed and talking to her. So Paryankada Ashu, Avruhi Ashu. So immediately he jumped, and now he manifested 4 hands, Chaturbhuja, because he needs 2 to uplift, and then further 2 to fix her hair and remove the tears from her eyes. So therefore, Keshan Samuhya Tadvaktram Pramrijat Padma Panina. So when she fell off, her hair also became disheveled. So now Krishna lifted, and with the other hand he was tying the hair, and with one hand he was wiping the tears. So 4 hands are useful. It's not just for showing. So now he made use of his 4 hands. So Chaturbhuja iti utthapana ashleshana vaktra parimarjanartham aviskrita bhuja chatushtaya ityartha. So he has to do many things quickly. He has to lift her up, embrace her, wipe the face, so many tears were coming, tie the hair, so he needed more hands. So more hands means more work. Right? That's why sometimes we say also like that, we need more hands for doing this work. So that's why he manifested 4. Could have manifested 8 also, but that would be too much scary. So he limited only to 4. Samuhya means nibadhya. Samuhya means to tie. It should be small, not big. There were other mistakes also before in this. Pramrajyashru kalinetre stanaucha pahatau shucha ashlishya bahuna rajan ananya vishayam satim. So what did he do? That ashru kale netre stanau chauphatau shucha. So Sri Krishna first wiped the face because there's so much tears were coming, and they were also coming onto her breast. So because there were tears of grief, and he embraced her, Ashlishya Bahuna. Now he says only 1. So he did not embrace her with all 4 arms. It's only with one arm. right? Means from the side, because he was embracing. If you have to wipe the face, you cannot wipe the face if you embrace with both arms. The face goes this side. So therefore it says Ashleshya Bahuna, means with one hand he was holding her, with the other he was wiping the face. Rajan Ananya Vishyam Satim. So who is Rukmani? So she is very chaste, Satim, and Ananya means she is completely devoted to Krishna. So therefore Ananya Vishya. Santvamasa Santvagya Kripya Kripanam Prabhu Hashya Praudhim Brahmaschittam Atadarham Satam Gatihi. So Krishna, who is Satam Gati, who is the destination of devotees, and who is Prabhu, who is Master, who is Lord, so he consoled her. And he is called here as the Master of Consolation. He is the expert pacifier. So he pacified her. Santvayamasa Santvagnya. Kripya, out of his grace, Kripanam. And she was in a very pitiable state. Why? Because she was confused. Why was she confused? Hashya Praudhim Brahmachitta. Because she could not understand that Krishna is only joking. And Atadarhams, she did not deserve this. Because if he had known that this is how she will react, then he would not have done it. So Ashrukale, Ashrudhare. So Ashrukala means, Ashrudhara means the eyes which were full of tears. And Shucha, Shokashruna. So her breasts were full of grief, or they were, he says, by the tears of grief. So now he speaks as follows. These are the words he speaks. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Mama Vedarbhi Ashuyetha Jane Tvam Mat Parayanam Tvadvachah Shrotu Kamena Shvelya Charitam Acharitam Angane. So first he says that, O Vedarbhi, please do not be upset with me. Why? Because I know that you are absolutely devoted to me. So if I am so devoted to you, why did you speak like this? If you already know. He says, Twadvachaha Shrotu Kamena. He says, I just wish to hear your voice in a different mood. Because if you eat sweet all the time, then you want to eat something salty. Right? Change of taste. So she is always very obedient, very nice, doing everything. So Krishna wanted little khatpat, like little tension. People don't want that, which is happening all the time for them. For him it was 100% matching. So he just wanted to see different mood. So therefore he says, Twadvachaha Shrotu Kamena, that I just desired to hear your angry words. And Shvelya Acharitam Angane. So beautiful one, Angana. I spoke like this only out of jest and not because I was actually meaning what I said. I did not really mean that. So there is commentary here. So commentator is making it like a dialogue, as if Rukmani is saying to him, Nanu tvaya ched idam shariram tyaktam Tarhi katham esha mahabharo maya vodhavya. So she is asking him that, my dear husband, if you have rejected me, and rejecting me means rejecting my body, then how I am going to maintain this big weight, big burden of this body? Means my body is meant only for you, and if you don't accept me, then what is the point in maintaining this? Therefore, I was about to die. I was ready to give up my body. Kathamesha mahabharo maya vodhavya. Means this body will become a burden if you do not accept me. So like we have human birth, so this body is meant to serve Krishna. Otherwise it is only a burden. So that's what it means. Iti yato mayapi etat tyajyate. So if she says like this, Krishna said, if you would give up your body, I will also give up my body. Because how will I live without you? So mayapi etat tyajyate. Tatra ashlesha ashru marjanadina kapata premanam prakatikritya yat pratyuham vishvase tatkim. So now she is saying that, why are you making a show of love by wiping my face, by embracing me? He says, this is just a show. And why are you doing it? Are you trying to protect yourself by this? Like you become angry sometimes at somebody, then afterwards you say, no, please forgive me, I didn't really mean that. You speak some harsh word out of anger, and then write an apology letter, or at least speak. Sometimes the other party says, give me written apology. And even then they are not satisfied. What is the difference between written and spoken? Written is more powerful, right? Sometimes people say we want a written apology. So written has more power, convincing power. If somebody is telling lies in speaking, you can also write it. Right? But it's just maybe they want to show to others he apologized. Proof. So he says, why are you doing this now? So atopi ati dukhitsa punarapi te vartate iti swasmin dosaropanam ashankya mahiti. So thinking like this, that, and then saying atopi ati dukhitsa punarapi te vartate, says that you still have some more desire to give more pain. Ditsa means wish to give. So thinking that Rukmani may speak like this, then Krishna speaks this verse. So you have to guess the other person's mind and then speak accordingly, then the person will be happy. So he is thinking that this is what her mind can think, so I already speak like that. So he Vedarbhi mam ma asuyatha. He says, please do not find fault in me. Don't be angry at me. So then Rukmani, this is commentator making it up. Now Rukmani takes another end. She says, okay, you joked with me, I will joke with you. Like we saw the banter between Krishna and gopis. So he is making a little banter here, sanlapa. So he says, Nanu cha hanta hanta param karunike tvai mam nayam asuya. So he says, alas, alas, you are so gracious. How can I find fault in you? It is not possible. Kintu tat parshve sthitva dukkhameva prapnuvatyah mam hitarthameva sukhamayim anyam gatim yad upadishtavanasi tad akranitvatya mamayam ananda murcha eva bhut. Says actually why I fell down was not that because I went into great grief by hearing your harsh word. Actually I went into great ecstasy out of bliss. Because I realized how compassionate you are. You are so compassionate that you want to separate me from yourself because with you I am so unhappy. Because you are not a match for me and therefore I am suffering. If a girl finds a husband who is completely disqualified, then she is unhappy. And now if a husband realizes it and offers to set her free, that's a compassion on part of husband, right? She doesn't have to file for a divorce and a lawyer and all that. He himself says, no, I realize that I am not a match for you. Please find another one. So he says, you are so compassionate. Param karunika. And therefore I became blissful. And that bliss was so intense that I could not contain it. You can become unconscious out of happiness, out of distress, both ways. Too much distress, you become unconscious. Too much happiness also, you can have a heart attack. Sometimes people have a heart attack out of happiness. So therefore he says that, how can I find fault with you? It's good that I did not die so that I can actually express my gratitude to you. If I had died, I would remain ungrateful to you because I would have no chance to say thank you. So at least now I can say thank you, sir. So nice of you. And I will pack my things and leave. So kintu tvat parshve sthitva dukkhameva prapnuvatya. Being with you, I was just completely in pain, suffering, all the time anxiety, thinking, how can I get out of this? But I did not know what to do. And mab hitarthameva, but you are so, hitarthi means you have done such welfare to me that you yourself said, Sukhmayim anyam gatim yaduptishtavan. You even gave a big lecture to me how I can find happiness with another man. And when I heard that, I said, wow, I had such a relief that you really said what I have been just thinking all the time. Now it has come out. So yadupdishtvan asi tad akarnivatya mama ayam ananda murcha. Therefore, I had ananda murcha. I became unconscious out of bliss. Tad bhangam cha tvam kim akarsi. And I don't know why did you disturb me. I was so blissful. Why did you should have just left me there. If you wanted, you could have joined me in that blissful state. Sayadi chanam aparam api asthapshyat tada mam tav cha parameva nivarti rabhavishyaditi tasya saprem vrakto me ashankya. He says that if you would have left me in that state for a little more time, then you as well as me both would have become liberated. because I will die, and then you will also reach my destination. So yadi kshanam aparam abhyasthasyat tada mam cha tav cha param eva nirvritya bhavishyat. So what will be the destination? That I will become free from this, I will be in total bliss if I die. And you will be happy because you got rid of me. She is not saying that I die and then you will also die. It says param nirvritti, that I will be happy because I got out of your entanglement. And you will be happy that you got free. So both of us will be in Paramananda. And now you have brought us back again into the same miserable condition. Why did you do that? So tasya saprem vakroktim ashankya. So Krishna understood that she is thinking in this sarcastic manner. So therefore she said mat parayana, that you are highly devoted to me. Tvam mat parayana mad ananya gatim aham jane. I know this very well. He is actually using the word jane also. It's not saying that you are very devoted to me, but it says I know you are very devoted to me. I am Ghata and I know this is Ghata. Not only Vyavasaya Gyan, but Anuvavasaya Gyan. Not that you are devoted, but I also know it. So therefore he says, Tari katham evam durvakyam avocha. So then she is asking, if you know that I am so devoted to you, then why did you speak all these harsh words to me? What is the reason? So then he says, just to hear your angry words. Tadvachaha kam kam vakroktim vadishyati iti shrotu kamena maya kshvelya narmana eva acharitam. So I just wanted to hear what kind of sarcastic statements you will make when I speak like this, like gopis were making. And Krishna said, yes, you should go and serve your husband. And he says, of course, we did not come here for you. We came to see the beauty of the forest. Why are you thinking that we have come here for you? So he says, I wanted to hear that kind of statements from you. That's why I joked with you like this. Eva muktam natu tatvataha. So therefore, that's why I spoke, and this was not that I meant like this. And for this reason, he is calling her as Angana, oh beautiful lady. So this is end of this commentary. If there is any question on this.